I know you have a list.
All right, we can go get started. You got, how much time do you have? 30 minutes?
Yeah,
All right, because 30 minutes is going to go by just like that with you and I.
I figured.
All right?
I think 30 minutes just went by just us saying hello.
You probably, well, I was for 30 minutes. So,
Yep, there you go.
huh?
There you go, 30 minutes went by.
Well, normally we have drinks. Sal Cagno. This is episode number 3 with Stoker's Tavern, brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for helping me get this little hobby of mine kicked off. But I will tell you, my friend, as I told you on the phone, nothing is more inspirational than getting you on the phone.
Thank you.
And I
That
think
means a lot.
everybody that knows you, when they see that you're on here, everyone's going to feel better just watching the crazy shit that comes out of your mouth.
My mouth? Mm-hmm. How about your mouth?
That it could happen as well. But the list that you reviewed earlier in the week would not afford me the luxury for us both to be guilty of that exact statement. So as a business owner, which I'd like to tap into, why is it that we as business owners are resistant to have an opinion expressed?
Because the world's PC. The whole world is it's a cancel culture. It's sensitive.
Right.
Everyone has to watch what they say, how they say it, why they say it. It's exact saying on my shirt.
All right, it says, you find it offensive, I find it funny. That's why I'm happier than you, and that's no bullshit.
Yeah, everybody gets offended for every little thing. I think you and I have talked about this. When we grew up, you just had conversation. If you couldn't figure out how to have a conversation, you had a fist fight, you hugged, and you moved on. That's not happening anymore.
I don't disagree.
It's, it's tough. It's a tough world.
How do we get through it, though, bro? I mean, how do we get past to a point, because I've expressed with you, and we've had some private conversations, so thank you, that I don't think we can advance any cause without honest conversation. And so many people are fucking scared to be honest.
It's true. I think they're honest with caution. I think they're honest with caution. For instance, I think you're very honest, with what you say, and you sometimes use caution. You're probably the least cautious person I know.
You
the
prefaced
least
it
person,
sometimes.
the least cautious person I know, which I love.
Probably.
And I got to tell you, one of the things I would like to talk about today is Kevin Champion, the things that people don't know about you, and how you inspire me, and things that, again, to come up with an idea and a plan and the execution is so difficult in small business. And you just...
This is about you, Sal.
I know, but I want to talk about you for 1 second.
Okay.
You found a way to replicate success in all you do, right? And even in others, even permission to speak about your family, but your new wife, your kids, your boys, they're respectful, they're good kids, they're good humans in society.
Let's touch on that when you're done.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things is, again, I was just telling my cousin on the phone that people support you no matter what because they know your heart, right? The ones that do know your heart. The ones that don't know your heart, then shame on them for not getting to know you. That's the way I kind of look at it, right? Do you say things off the wall? Sure. Do you do things crazy? Yes. One of my favorite moments is the running headbutt. It's a vision in my mind forever.
That was beautiful.
That was a beautiful
I wish we had cell phones then, bro.
That was the best night, one of the best days ever.
But let's be real here. If you run across, what was his name? Cal or Cad, or he had some... You fuck with another man's wife physically, you deserve a flying headbutt.
Yes, and it was a beautiful one.
And we got thrown out. Remember we had to sit in the principal's office?
Yes.
Me and you and Combs?
We did.
Yeah.
It's just, but it may not be a memory that people would say, I'd want to be a part of that, but I think those are the things that make you stronger.
Okay. My thing is, I feel most people would have loved to have been a part of that, but they can't admit it.
That's what I'm saying. They can't admit it. And it was, I was floored, but I was like, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Do you remember his nose?
Yes.
Exploded.
But look,
if I choose to do a 50-50 ball against your wife, right, and tackle her, I expect for you to
retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
Or play harder against you, right?
Retaliate. You're going to retaliate. I know you're past.
Yeah. I'm going to retaliate.
I don't turn my back.
But that's why I think, and I'm going to bring this back to my coaching, right? Some people would say, if they didn't know, if their kid wasn't on my team, they would say, he's a jerk. He's not a good coach. He's always angry. He's always loud. He's always, no.
But you're not angry.
I'm passionate.
Yeah.
And my passion is for those kids and for their families, that they signed up to have a good experience, to get them away from cell phones, to get them away from, that's why I'm still involved today in youth sports. My kids are getting older. They don't play rec sports anymore. They've aged out. And I
heard one's kind of angry. I heard
What's
one
that?
of your children is pseudo-angry.
Pseudo-angry. She probably gets it from her
Got
mom.
the Cagno gene in her.
She gets it from me.
And an affinity towards
it's
concrete, I think, right?
something like that.
We will not go into that story because there's pending legal charges, possibly. No, there will be none. That's bullshit.
It was a conversation about. It was just a conversation. Someone took it too far, and someone was too sensitive, and they wanted to talk junk. And then when the other person did, they're like, "Oh, now I'm offended. You can't do that."
But it goes back to how you are as a parent. And the one thing that I respect, you and I think parent and coach a similar fashion. I mean, there have been a lot of people when I coached didn't like my coaching style at first, but then they appreciate and respect it when their kid actually advanced in those 2 months that we had them.
Right.
But you and I parented in a sense that you can't do anymore. You know, that parents are afraid to do it. I tried to do it to Sammy's kids and ended up in fucking court.
That happens.
You know, if you go sideways, you deserve to have your ass beat.
Sure.
Okay. And you talk about like your son's drive is phenomenal. I follow him. I see what he's doing. It's impressive. You know, I see nothing but major success for that kid. I don't know your daughter that well, your daughters, but I know he has an amazing future. And it's because you busted his ass. I was there. I witnessed it. I saw it. And it's going to be fun watching these kids grow under, and I think you probably had the same impact with a lot of the kids that you coached.
I hope so.
I see you, my dude, being somebody that you get random calls 5, 10, 15 years up the road. Coach, this is little Jimmy or Susie or whoever the hell the kid's name is. Do you remember that time that you did this? And you're going to remember it. And they're going to be, that fucking changed my life.
I hope so.
That was cool.
I hope so. And I'll tell you, it's the best part about coaching now is bringing the girls back that I coached when they were young, and they're actually saying some of the same things that I said, and I can sit back and watch them do it. And
so they're coaching.
They're coaching now, and I go,
Oh,
they did listen to me. They did listen. Like back then, you're like, they didn't listen to a damn thing I said. Now, and then you step back, and they're coaching, and you're like, they did hear me. They did.
They are listening.
Yeah, and that's very rewarding. You know, and again, we talk about this community, right? Community supports local business, and it's hard to open a local business and start a local business, and how many fail, and it takes that community to help you succeed. You know, and I think both of us run successful businesses in the community because we do a lot of things right. Yes, we make mistakes.
We put people first, though.
100%.
And I think that's what makes us different as humans. We don't, how do I say this the right way without upsetting anyone? We're not afraid to hurt your feelings.
Correct.
But we're always going to put the best product in front of you. And we're going to bust our ass making sure that you walk out with a smile on your face. And
you're happy, for sure.
Because you walked in places, I'm sure, in your business and probably didn't tell them what they wanted to hear, what they needed to hear. But at the end of the day, it wasn't about SAL CAGNO.
It's not.
It's about the customer. And
that's what I try to teach in business and my kids. Give more, expect less without gain. You don't need anything from it. Just do it.
The gain will come.
Yeah, and you don't do it for that, but it's more rewarding. When you just give to others, right, it's more rewarding. You know, I talk about a lot of times when road rage. I used to have the worst road rage.
Dude, hold on. Keep that thought right here.
Yeah,
this is no fucking shit. Today, look at this note right here. Right here. Where the hell? Oh, that's the one I can't do with you.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, that's after he sells his business. This is no shit. All right. Last line right there.
Crazy bitch and Prius.
Okay, today, I was coming back to Sheets getting ice for Sammy's dad's party. So a lady pulls, you know where I live.
Yeah.
So I was coming on West Market and taking a left on Holden, headed towards the house, and a lady in a Prius rolls down her window, honks her horn. I look over. She literally says, "Are you a fucking asshole all the time, or is just today my day?" Well,
all the time.
I got a little heated, and then she started talking about, you know, you must have a tiny dick, and I'm like, yeah, but it sure is pretty. you know?
Yeah.
And it just, that road rage incident, I've never, and dude didn't do anything to warrant that. And she started getting mouthy as hell. I'm like, what are we doing here? And then I said some things that I'm proud of. She was grossly obese, probably voted for Kamala. And I made some comments
Right.
about her disgusting presence, if you will. But go back to road rage.
No, and it's one of those things you don't know what someone's day was like. For instance,
Oh, you're gonna preach to me. I shouldn't have done it.
I am a little
shouldn't
bit.
have done it.
You don't know her day. You don't know her day. Her day.
Oh, dude, I didn't expect this shit from you. But
Yeah,
let's
you
go.
didn't know
All
her
right,
day.
let's go.
I'm learning this as I get older. Like every day, you know, at 50 years old now, you know, and I still don't dye my hair. Let's look at the hair. But
Bastard.
everything else is turning white. God bless me.
I'm
with
not
that.
a
That was
jealous
it.
human, except when it comes to your hairline. But go ahead, preach to me, baby.
But it's we don't know anybody's day, right? We don't know anybody's day. Vincent was on a ladder, gets hit in the head with a ceiling fan, gets sent to the
Your son.
yeah. Well, I'm in my work van, Budget Blind's van, and I'm driving as fast as I possibly can, and I'm sure I was weaving and pissing some people off, and I'm like, and there were a couple horns blown and this and that, but the only thing I thought
What a
was,
great look for the brand, though.
I know, and I messed it up. Like I know that it was, and I was trying to be as cautious as I could, so people didn't think I was a jerk or I run some kind of dumb business. Which our reviews speak for themselves and our products and everything else.
But I would
anyway,
defend you. Your family comes well before the business and the brand.
it comes.
I know
first,
you look out for other people, the 12 families. However,
Right.
you got to get to Vinny.
Got to get to Vinny. So I'm going fast, and I usually don't. Usually I'm the slowest one, and everybody get on in. But I needed to get in, and I got in a couple times, and people were pissed. And I'm saying to myself, you don't know what.
You ever said that to a female?
No.
I need to get in.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. So you just don't know what somebody's going through, look, it's about second chances, about making mistakes. We've all made them. Second chances are okay. You know, like everybody, one time you mess up, you do this, that's it. It's held against you forever, right? And you don't know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
You know, you really don't. It's one of my favorite stories of learning that was at work. We were a day late during COVID. Now everybody knows during COVID everything was a shit show, getting product and everything else.
Your business especially, right? It had to have
it
been
was
uber
so
difficult.
bad. It was crazy. So we were going to install this lady's house. It was up high, and we were one day late. And we told her we thought it was coming in today. We were going to get out to your house, but I'm sorry, we have to come tomorrow. And she lit. I can't remember. I think it was Laura. Lit her up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go tomorrow. Make sure I'm on this install. Make sure I can find out, how we can make make it right. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't there, and her husband was there. And I'm like, where's your wife? I was here to talk to her, make sure she's okay, and blah, blah, blah. And he goes,
And you're the right guy to do that.
well, thank you. And he goes, upset about what? I'm like, we were supposed to be here yesterday. We're here today. She was not happy about it, yada, yada. And I said, I just want to make this right, however we need to make it right. He said, one day, he goes, your phone call was the phone call after Lowe's, and they were 11 months late. She gave you the ass whooping for Lowe's being 11 months. She's like, one day, no big deal. But we didn't know that. So if I didn't go and I didn't ask questions and I didn't try to make it right, she automatically puts us in a box that we're like Lowe's.
That's fair.
And it's just, you don't know. You just don't know, right? So I always say.
It's so hard, though.
It's so hard.
When
it's
you know
so
you're
difficult.
doing everything right that you can do within your control, and someone jumps your shit.
Yeah, I get it.
Can I be honest with you? I'm surprised you were able to take that breath. I love you, and I know you well. But kudos to you for being able to do it.
I'm getting older. And as I get older, I think it really does come with, you either have less patience for dumb shit and more patience for others. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
Like the dumb shit, I'm like, I don't have patience for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Stupidity.
Yeah.
But then like real life stuff, I have more patience and sympathy and empathy and I want to see it better, right? I mean, it's I've learned that just be more kind, right? And I will tell you this, there's a guy that I talk to a lot, good mentor,
I think everyone needs that.
Yeah, and he tells me all the time, I want you to find one good thing before you find any bad. Just focus on that one. Try to find it. Have the conversation longer. And what you learn is the longer you have that conversation, you hear a lot of good coming out of someone's mouth. But if you don't give them that chance and you take their first initial comment as end all,
Right.
that's what you get. And you're like, that Kevin Champion, he's an asshole, right? Because he said this one thing one time. No, look at all the good that Kevin Champion does do.
See, in that scenario, and tell me if I'm kind of reading it right. Do you remember the situation where we had someone doing something in the bar that warranted them being removed? They were.
Which time?
This was
joking.
someone they urinated in the bar
Okay.
multiple times.
Yeah.
We had to have that conversation that you refer to. And this is what I struggle with, because there's certain conversations I can have with people, customers and staff,
sure.
and certain that Sammy do. And, females I will not talk to in any capacity. I won't take you in the office. I won't condone you. I won't criticize you. I won't chastise you. I won't teach you. That's Sammy's role. It's more of a, and
Sure.
that's kind of fucked up too, if being honest with you, that we got to protect ourselves. However, Sammy had an amazing conversation with this person. Look, we're here to help you in any capacity. We know you have issues. What can we do to help? Who can we help call you? Let us help you through it. Well, this person changes the dynamic of the story and rips us to shreds as if, and directly, that we, God, what the hell am I talking about? We don't allow special needs. Okay. We, not segregate. What the hell is the term? Discriminate against people's special needs when they don't realize Sammy's got a special needs
I
daughter.
was just going to say, you have a special needs child.
And we employ. I give every opportunity, and that I give credit to Sammy for. She's opened my eyes to it's bigger than the performance of the job, and it's better about how it makes you feel.
Right.
And seeing some of these kids, and as an example, her daughter light up when you give her task-driven stuff and she performs it. And so she's like, holy shit, I did that. And as small as it seems, it's like when you get a sale or you convert this lady that was upset in one day. Next thing you know, she's writing you 5-star reviews. And I'm certain that happened.
It does.
It's just hard, man.
It is hard. It's not easy. And it's, I don't know how it works overall, but I do know that when the outcome is, or when you I'm learning that I control me, and I had to learn this through.
How did you okay, because we both grew up in similar circumstances. I mean, you having a police officer as a father,
Yeah.
me a father in my life, and then we were both hot-headed. We both have gotten into some trouble.
Yeah.
What was that aha moment that you're like, holy shit, I cannot act this way? Was it a moment in front of your children? Was it had to have a moment or a situation that you don't need to elaborate on, but
Oh, I can. I have no problem sharing that. It's I think the aha moment was my separation.
okay, walk me through that as much as you're comfortable with.
Yep. I you know me, I'm an open book. I think it was one of those things where
Not really. Here's a list.
I'm still not gonna lie. It's just, no, I think it was I had to work on myself, and I didn't know how. I never knew how to be alone. Never thought I'd be separated or divorced.
Did you feel like a failure? Because I did.
100%. I felt like, what could I have done more? What could I have done better? I begged for our family to stay together. Because it was tough. And the one thing I learned, like I said, is I learned how to be alone. And I went to therapy. I was like, if we can't do this together, I'm going to go look after myself. And that's what I started to learn, is that I'm responsible for my own happiness, and I'm responsible for my own actions, and I control my narrative.
Right.
We can get into faith and we could do that, and but again, there has to be that moment, and I think that was the moment where I was like, I just need to do better. I just need to do better. I want to do better. I always wanted to do better.
Was therapy that? Because I'm that asshole that wants to do it, right? And I know it has tremendous value, but I haven't taken that step. You know, and that's why this is somewhat therapy to me.
And I was
to open up to a buddy, and you know me as well. Everything's an open book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to say things throughout this journey that are going to upset some people.
Yep.
But I don't care because unfortunately it's about this guy.
It is
this process of my life.
But and again, it goes back to how many people do you and I know that people want to cast judgment on and say they're this and they're that for the community, but they don't know their heart.
We know one particular person.
We do.
And it pisses me off every time.
And he says he's the big bad bully, and all he is a big-hearted dude that if you just got to know, he'd give you the shirt off his back.
They don't know shit about him.
No. And he's a great guy, great family guy. Does he make mistakes? Absolutely.
That's the issue.
Does
you talked about that one thing of the good.
Yes.
Most people want to look about that one thing of the bad and focus and channel it on that. Channel the time Kevin got fucked up in Stoke Ridge and got on the microphone and said some horrible things. That happened, right? But not flip side of the other things. And he is, I will defend that man to the day I die. Publicly, you know, he doesn't like his name stated or weird reference here, but that's the sad reality of humans. And I think our market, the communities that we live, it's kind of a competitive, everyone's competing. It's a rabbit race out there. Who's got the biggest house?
100%.
Who's got the nicest car? And, you know, this is, there were instances when I first opened the restaurant, I would walk into homes that were massive and had half furniture.
Yeah.
I'd go 3 months later, and the furniture's still on order. Brother, give me a single wide trailer and a plot of land and a fire pit in the back.
But that's okay. I mean, everybody wants different, right? I mean, everybody wants different. And I used to want that, and that used to matter to me. It really all mattered to me, you know. Now I live in a small place, big enough for my 3 kids to come and all stay there at one time. Mm-hmm. And you know, I just told you today, I want to get a lake house, and I want to make memories, and that's more important.
As soon as you have that, I'm going to have those parties there.
Absolutely.
Except Jared cannot come.
Jared cannot come.
No.
Jared's going to be right there, man. He's a good person. He's a good person, too.
He's misunderstood. And I appreciate you getting me in touch with him to develop the friendship that we've got.
Yeah. And you know what? I hear people talk
cheap
bad
as
about
fuck.
He's great. Like, he's great. No, he's not cheap. He's great. He's great. No,
he did buy me lunch. Look,
there you go.
Yeah.
I just think, you know,
he's a phenomenal guy.
I'm going to tell you what he is. He's a pro at what he does. He's a pro.
Without question.
I mean, him and I will be on the phone or texting or whatever all night long, and he's upset and he's this. And man, at 4 o'clock, that damn alarm goes off. He gets up. He's at 6, and he's putting on the best show ever.
I don't disagree, dude. Even I can hear him here.
And I'm texting him, going, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "You sound great on the radio." And he's like, "I'm like he's a pro. He's an absolute pro, you know." And I respect that, because that means you could check it at the door, and that's hard. I mean, when you go.
But I wish he understood his value. Because I think he's better than he gives himself credit. Or let's say, not maybe like that.
Not scared. He's humble. He's a humble guy.
He's more really marketable.
Yes.
Because I'm at a point in my life, dude, you know, I do medical packaging during the day.
Right.
And my company's been acquired multiple times by various private equity companies. And we've reached a point where we no longer care for the customer. We care for the dollar. We care for the shareholder. We care for the investor. And I don't function that way. So I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine this morning that works with a large logistic company. And I don't really know what my value is in the market. And I was talking to him about the same thing. You may not need to make a change, but I think it's nice to know what your value is. You know, after he's been in there 18 years, I've been in there 21 years in this business. And I'm letting them dictate my worth in the packaging world. I ain't doing that shit anymore.
Right.
You know, I'm going to go fishing. You know, I might reel in the fish. I might stay on the same fucking bank.
Yep.
But I'm going to start fishing.
For sure.
And I don't know how in his world he does it, but he's fucking really good.
He's really good. He's great. And you know, you said it.
And I don't want to talk about him because he's, well, nothing. Go ahead.
No, he's great. You said something earlier about shareholders, and we talked about small business, and that's one of the things. Like when I see shareholder reports come out, and I'm looking at stocks and so on, I'm like, one, I can't buy enough of that stock to make any money, right? But when their earnings come in, and I'm like, gosh, that means they just murdered people.
Correct.
Talking about tariffs, talking about these big corporations,
Insurance companies.
Yes, they're all doing
record quarters.
And then what happens to the small business? I want it cheaper. Customers, I want it cheaper. You don't negotiate when you go to Lowe's. You don't negotiate when you go to Home Depot.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, that's interesting.
But then local companies, you're just, look, I mean, I get it. Some companies charge extra and they live this big fancy life and so on and so forth. But small business owners, you clean the trash.
I'm in the fucking urinal.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. Whatever it takes. So it's not like, when people work at big corporations, this is my job description and that's all I need to do. When you own a business, you do it all and everybody else's job description because they couldn't get to it. And then if you don't run a successful business, it doesn't make money, guess what? You're the last one to get paid, And how many
That's what
years?
people don't understand, though.
No.
That last statement you just made.
Yeah, so how many years was it that you owned Stoke Ridge? That
3
you were
years.
the last
I didn't take 1 penny for
Correct.
3 years.
You had another job, another business, another...
Still did, but my objective was to put Looney's out of business as well. So I was just undercutting anything and everything. But on the same light, I mean, how long did it take you? You didn't get paid for the first year or two?
It was probably first 3 years. We ran the other 2 years. We ran the other business. And then we took minimal salaries.
But most people don't have the balls to do that, dude. That's the kicker.
They do not. But how
what do you mean I got to work 40
like
hours and not get paid?
I know.
Brother, you got to look the macro sense. This is a pie shape. We're looking out here.
Yes.
They want to focus on this thing immediately. And staffing now, they don't understand that.
Right.
I mean, in any industry.
I just went to a conference that talked about $10, $100, $1,000, and $10,000 activities as a business owner. And if you're down here focusing on the $10, not that you don't have to do them.
Yeah.
So they have to get done. But if you're focusing there, you can't focus up here. And it really was eye-opening. And it makes you talk about knowing your value, It makes you realize it's, again, not that I'm better than these or not that, but my mindset or your mindset is up here saying.
But you can delegate the $10.
You can, and you should.
Yeah.
And that's really what it says.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I found success too is, I have to put this on record. I have an amazing business partner that just trusts me and loves me. He's like my brother. People don't know who he is really, Nick, and he's my cousin. Like I said, he's like my brother.
Nick's a big dude, right?
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And Nick,
like he used to come to the games and stuff.
He did.
Right? Very supportive
Yep.
of your kids. Yep.
Everything. He's one of those guys. And what does he do? He's like, he tries to challenge himself to not take days off. I'm like, no, take days off, right? He's like, nope, I want to be here. I want to work. But he lets me be good at what I'm good at. And then he's good at what he's good at. And that's why nobody has missed a paycheck ever, right? If I was running it, I'd be, woohoo, let's go, let's, rah, 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 half day Friday, every Friday, pizza parties. And he's like, we could do that, but we can't do it every Friday, right? We can do that, but we can't do it, So I know we've gone in so many different directions, but no, I think surrounding yourself with good people and it makes all the difference.
But do not attribute your success not knowing the internal runnings of your business. Your personality is phenomenal.
Thank you.
You're transparent and you're honest. Yeah. And you're not afraid to go out there and work 80 hours. And nothing replaces hard work. And there's a guy that I watch on YouTube. He fixes cars, and his hard work beats talent. Like that. Right. That's his model or around him fixing cars. And I don't disagree with that. You and I are not afraid to work 80 and 100-hour weeks. No. Now, granted, I don't want to do it anymore.
No, as I get older, I don't want to do it.
I will if I have to.
And that's it. Like no one will ever hold us hostage in our business.
But they can't look back at you and I and say, you weren't willing to do it. Because I can always go to my fucking kids, right, and say, look, I've been there. Don't tell me I can't. And I made the baseball. You and I both, I guarantee, working 100 hours a week, 2 jobs, baseball game, coaching, soccer game.
Never
we did
missed
it.
one. Never missed one.
I haven't either. And now we divide and conquer, as you and Liz did, right? Sometimes it's required. But these young kids coming up can't look at guys like you and I and say, you don't know what it's like, Sal. Bullshit.
They think a full-time employee is 32 hours.
Yeah.
Because the government says it is. Like, no. Like
I didn't know that.
that's they've changed it's full time after whatever they changed. I don't even know what it is, but it's just till this day running a successful business. I still have a second business. Like yourself, because yes, we talked about my father-in-law. He's ready to take a 30-year mortgage at 90 years old because he sees opportunity, right? He's like, there's opportunity here, and I'm like,
but you have to have multiple streams of income. I'm big and huge on that.
I agree. When one doesn't work, the
You
other
don't
one
know.
does.
I mean, when COVID came around and crushed the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
We're doing $6,000 a week. Thank God I had the packaging gig. And it's just weird how things happen because with LabCorp, again, the honesty and transparency, LabCorp would come to me and say, these are the kits we need. We don't need to shop around like you discussed. So we put the kits together. We designed the kits. We test them, make sure that the temperature requirements are right on point. And they bought product.
Right.
So they were buying a shit ton. We went from doing probably 15.5, 16 million to crossing 21 million in 2020. So it's weird how life is when one business kind of is throttled down and struggling, the other picks up.
Yeah.
But unless you were willing to put in, again, that 80 to 100 to whatever the hours required, you don't have those luxuries. And these kids this day and age think, well, shit, I'm owed that.
That's it. It's an ode. But who's to blame?
The
You
parent.
and I, right? We're the parents.
The parent.
And we did it because
That's
we
why
want better
Vinny,
for...
Trev, Braden are going to kick the shit out of a lot of these kids. I'm sorry.
Right.
You can't say that.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
No.
I am not opposed to sitting back and going to look forward to watching the kid. And there's a lot of dads like you and I that have the same kids, right?
Yeah,
that are going to
absolutely.
fucking throttle these other kids. And Dana White, who I'm a big fan of, he made something statement along the lines of, if your son or daughter has any element of killer in them, they're going to run through this generation.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree, bro.
I agree with that. And it's and it is a little bit taught and it's a little bit learned. Like you could teach it, but you have to learn, you have to experience it, right? So they have to see it from their parents or
But isn't that taught?
It's
Taught
taught,
through
but it also has to be something that you feel internally, right? I mean,
Okay, so you think there was a chance Vinny wasn't going to be a fucking killer?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say, probably not Vinny. Vinny's probably the wrong one to use. That kid's always ready to work, right? Mm-hmm. And I love that. And he's never.
But was that not driven in you? Because I've been around him, I've coached him.
I think he had.
You've coached him.
I think he had a lot of great mentors along the way. I think he had, my brother-in-laws.
See, how do we? My thing is don't mean to interrupt, but how do we? You and I kind of talked on the sideline. I would love to form some kind of program where men like you and I that have been through shit, let's get these young men and women together and have some kind of mentorship program where we just walk them through.
Yeah.
And they need to understand what it's like to really get through the tough times and to get to where we are now. Not that I'm uber successful in any capacity. I'm living a great life, but I've worked my ass to get there.
Right.
And
you're also the kind of guy, or I am too, that if our family needed us to, we'd put an Uber or a Lyft sign on our thing and we'd be doing that.
100%.
If we had to do it to feed our family,
I'd pick trash up. I'd do everything.
We would do what it takes. And a lot of people feel they're better than that. They don't have to do that. No, that's what it takes to be successful, mm-hmm. right? I mean, people want to look at millionaires or billionaires and say, how did they get there? And then they go, oh, they claim bankruptcy. Well, they claim bankruptcy because they took a chance and the chance didn't work, so they started over, right? Like, it's not easy starting over, but it happens. And
it's very humbling.
It is. You can either say, okay, I'm done and lay down, or it's fight or flight. And you could either keep fighting or you could lay down and say, I'm just not good enough. I took a chance and I'm done.
But it goes back to that. The assholes that critique them are the ones that are that 1%er that focus on the one negative aspect.
Correct.
They don't look that he built a business, employed thousands of people, he or she.
Yep.
They gave millions of people fucking millions of dollars and a lifeline to have a phenomenal life, but they made one bad decision, they went bankrupt. Now, there are greedy fuckers out there that use it as a tool.
Yes.
I don't think consciously I could ever do that, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I pay all my debts.
Yeah, right.
It sucks sometimes.
Yeah, but but that's what we do because that's how we work. And we work hard until we have to, until we can't. Until we can't. Until the Lord comes and says you can't work anymore. just what we do. I mean, retirement to me sounds great, but it sounds boring. It's
I
kind
can't.
and I don't know
see
if
you
I'll ever
always
sit
hustling.
around and do nothing.
Yeah,
right? Like I'm
yeah.
always going to do something. And yeah, I wish I could say golf was my jam. I mean, it would be easy.
You got a good golf swing, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because I'm lefty. It just everything looks better lefty because there's not many of them out there.
That?
Yeah, yeah, it's on.
That's the real reason why you got separated. You got caught
Exactly.
too many times. Yeah. Poor Liz. Tired of cleaning up the bathroom. Sticky everywhere. I can edit this shit out. Don't worry about
No, you're good.
it. Yeah.
It's but no, it's you know, the one thing I always look at too is, and I think of this a lot, is Nick Saban says that if you want to be a leader, you're not going to make everybody happy, and if you want to make everybody happy, sell ice cream. When that damn ice cream truck comes around and the songs are playing, everybody runs to it. It's so awesome. But if that ice cream man says, you know, you need to eat a spoonful of humble pie here, they'd all run away, right? Like sometimes you have to.
The bulk of them, for sure.
Yeah, the bulk of them would say, you know, you got to eat a spoonful of humble pie before you get ice cream. They're like, I just want the ice cream, right? That's all they want. They just want the ice cream. They
How do
want
we
the
change that?
satisfaction.
I mean, it's a major cultural shift.
Well, I do like what you said, and I think about this all the time. I just drove by the Boys and Girls Club the other day. I was driving by. I didn't know they had.
I didn't know they still had that.
I didn't either, and I was like, gosh, how do I put a kid in my truck and
Because you
show
did
them
that
and
shit.
teach
Didn't you
them?
didn't we talk to the schools, like Oak Ridge Elementary?
did, the
You and I
schools.
both did that.
Yeah. Like and you know, doing more of that, and just really helping these.
Then how do we hold, just you and I, how do we hold each other accountable to do shit? Maybe you and I go and start doing it together.
So the one thing that I will say this, and this is through the Home Builders Association. Greensboro Home Builders Association is actually getting. They have a. We're going to be going into schools and saying to children or young adults that it's okay if you don't go to college. I mean, I have a college degree.
Please preach that, brother.
I have a college degree, and I didn't use it, right?
I'm an economics major and
that's
math.
what I'm saying. Yeah. And mine's in a bachelor's in criminal justice
That
with a
makes sense.
sociology,
That makes a lot
psychology
of
minor.
sense. Yeah,
And,
that made a lot.
it's and then I sold real estate, and now I own a blind business. Like zero direction, right? Like
How did the blind bitches come about? I mean,
so when I
I've never asked that.
Yeah, so when I moved here, worked with I sold real estate in Florida. Moved here to sell real estate.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So
you sold real estate here in North Carolina.
So I started when I moved here in 06.
What year? That's when we moved here. Yeah.
Moved here in 06, was super successful in Florida, knew everybody.
That house off Hall River, was that the original house? So you built that house and did your thing?
Yeah.
Okay. You were successful in real estate up here.
No, I was not. I didn't know anybody, and then the 07 hit, 08.
Oh, shit.
So it just knocked me out. I moved up here with Nick, my cousin. He moved up here for the We Buy Treasure
You were with
business.
Liz at the time.
I was. Yeah.
Okay.
So we move up here.
What was it to Oak Ridge? Like, why?
So Nick
Or
was
North Carolina as a whole?
So Nick was moving here,
Okay.
and we had gotten hit by 3 hurricanes in a row, and
Katrina just came through there, too. They hit New Orleans.
New
That was
Orleans.
05, 06, I think.
yeah, they just did a documentary on that.
Yeah.
Which was pretty neat.
Dude, this is no shit. No. So I'd gotten fired by GBF, right? So, and keep that thought. So it was July 1, 2005. I get fired by GBF because they wanted me to sell my shares in Looney's. Right. And I walked in Danny's office. Dude, I was killing it. Fucking killing it. And he and his son, he and I, we were salesmen. And the one thing that Danny did well at GBF is a competitor in the packaging world.
Okay.
They've grown the business. They're doing unbelievably well. Jason now runs it. But Danny was a guy that, great dude, the best salesperson I've ever been around in my life. A lot of people don't like him, right? I like Danny. Danny can be an ass, but I really, really like it. Anyhow, walk in July 1. He says, sell your shares in Looney's because Jason was getting in his ear because I was making money at Looney's. It's a true story.
Yeah.
There's 2 people internally at GBF told me these things. He said, you need to watch out. Fucking watch out. So he walks in. It was on a Friday. Heather and I and the kids were going to vacation down at the beach that weekend. Walks in, you're going to sell your share at Looney's. I was like, Danny, I ain't selling anything. He said, it's a distraction. So what do you do as salespeople? I'll show you receipts. Hold on. This is
what I do.
This year,
Yep.
year to date, right? Up double digits. So he and I got a little heated, and I still had that, my back's against the wall, Danny's back against the wall. He said, Danny, I ain't fucking selling anything, so you're going to have to fire me. Well, I knew what was happening. I literally walked in my office. He said, you want me to help you pack your box? I said, no, I'm good. So a guy named Todd Gates, who was our number 1 competitor, I called him right out of the gate because he had been asking and everything else. A year, you had to have a year non-compete because Danny's the kind of guy that would sue you just to fuck with Todd, right? Stayed here. I drove down to Katrina and got a truck full of stuff and had an old Yukon, beat up Yukon. Got a truck full of stuff, a trailer full of stuff, drove down to Katrina, slept in my truck, dropped shit off, and come back. I've never seen anything like that in my life, ever. But it goes back to not to toot my own horn, but it goes back to people think you and I can be dicks, but they just don't know the little things like that we do.
That's it.
You know?
It's, well, I think you more of a dick than me, but.
I am definitely. But you wait. Hold on. You wait till you retire and sell the bit. I'm going to have this list, and we are discussing these 13 topics in about
Look at that.
5 years.
5 years? Okay.
Brother, we're already at 41 minutes.
I love it. I love it. I could talk to you all day. You are, man.
You've got family stuff going on. So.
I mean it when I say it. I know you won't put it in here because it's not who you are, but dude, you're an inspiration to a lot of people you don't know that you are, and it's you give a lot of. I see the kids and the young adults that come through your establishment, and you give a lot of kids opportunities, and again, it's they don't know what they have till you really get to know somebody.
Well.
Really.
I will ditto those sentiments. Yeah. You know, you're family to me, you're a brother to me, you're a guy. There's two people that I can go to and tell them anything and no judgments passed that aren't, actually I have three, and you're one of them, so thanks for being that guy for me in my life.
That. Yeah. I don't pass judgment because everyone has, everyone's what.
Oh, you can't, brother, because I got just as much on you as you got me.
Look, when you say we have stuff on each other, it's
mistakes. It's not bad.
But it's nothing that like we've never hurt anybody, like not killed anybody. We've never, we've never. Yeah, we make mistakes for sure. I remember because I got in a fist fight when I was 21. I had to sit in front of a board to be a soccer coach. What are those glasses?
Is the light on?
What?
Is the light on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm recording you.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah, baby. Is the light still on?
It is.
I'm recording you. This camera's right there.
I gotta get a pair of those.
Batteries 100%. They're the clear lenses, but
yeah.
Hold on, is it still record? Is the light still on?
No.
Fuck.
It's off. There it is. It's on.
Is it on now?
It is.
It's my stock. It's my POV. So I'm gonna wear these when I get.
Night vision.
Well, no, you wait. Sammy and I are starting a new business. I'm gonna get freaky deaky.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull these on with my tube top socks. Hey, baby, you ready to go? Let's go.
I haven't seen one of your fun posts in a while. Like the no dragonflies. No.
I haven't been drinking. I've cut back drinking a lot.
Sober. It's.
I don't think about it sober.
Yeah.
It's not
dragonflies and the. Oh gosh, it just it. People want, and I think the other part of like my craziness is that. If on a scale of 1 to 10 of crazy, like I could be at like a 7 or 8, maybe a 10. But I think people can go from a 1 to a 5 and just let loose a little.
Agree.
What life is so serious,
but they don't want to be judged.
Yes,
if you're judged, it has consequences.
Yes, I mean that's probably why I got thrown out of my dad's retirement party. Him being a police officer because I had judges doing crazy things. And
what do you do? I haven't heard this.
My dad. What did I do? Oh, I was.
For the record, you dictate when we leave. I'll talk all day.
No,
I know you got family shit going on.
But
yeah.
like, it's so yeah. So.
For the record, Liz and Sal are getting back together, so that's why he has to leave.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're renewing their nuptials today at 7:00.
Don't start that, please.
And Jared Pike is actually going to be administering the prenup the nuptials. So congrats on that, Liz. I'm happy for you,
Pastor Jared.
Outstanding work. But go ahead.
This is Kevin at his best lying at his best. He'll cut that part.
That probably won't be cut.
No, I know.
I don't know if I'll cut anything, to be honest with you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
what I'll do typically, I'm going to send it to you, and if everything's cool with you, because I don't give a shit. No, I'll let you see it before I post it. But go ahead to the.
I don't think that we've said anything here today that is incorrect or. Yeah.
Come on.
It's your list.
Come on. Here it is. Yep.
Okay.
Let's just hit one of them. Don't.
We can talk about Jesus all day.
Huh?
We can talk about Jesus.
Okay. Let's talk about Jesus.
Yeah. Listen, it's.
Are you're religious?
So I grew up Catholic. Was an altar boy, the whole nine. Did not get touched. an altar boy. So
he's upset with that, by the way. Unfortunately, it's like, damn it, I was one of the few.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, why not me? What's wrong with me? No, I was never.
All right, so Liz, the reason it didn't work out, you didn't dress up like a priest.
So went back to the church that I was an altar boy and Liz
Catholic.
had gone to. Yep, and we said, we live in a different area of Florida. Can you marry us here? We'd like to get married here. And they said no. And I was like, that's not right. Like,
Why?
They just said they didn't have time, and since we weren't part of that church, and we thought it would be really nice that we grew up in that church, we can, and they said no, we're not doing it. So we wound up going to a place and getting an Orthodox Catholic priest and yada yada yada. And
What is an Orthodox Catholic? Like strict?
They're less strict. Maybe I
less
said
strict.
it wrong. Did I say it Orthodox?
I don't know.
Maybe it's less strict.
Okay.
So they don't have to be in the church. They can come into the.
They're like Christianity now, where they go in and play rock music, and you walk out after hearing a concert. Yeah.
That's right. So when I moved here, I just first thing you hear from everybody here is, where do you go to church? Where do you go to church? Where do you go? And I love that. Right?
Was that the case in Florida or no?
No. So it was like strip clubs and CVS's on every corner, right?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. There was
and pawn shops.
Well, you could open a liquor store anywhere, beer, liquor. You could do whatever you want anywhere, like in Florida, pretty much. Here, you have to buy for an ABC. You have to, so it just kind of controls it, and it's not a horrible thing. Forgot where I was going with that.
Religious, got married, had to go to another church.
Moved here, talking about religion. We opened our eyes to, let me back that up. Putting the kids in like a daycare just to get social interaction.
Right.
Because Liz had stayed home with the kids, and I went to work, and it was like, you should come to our church where you bring the kids, and then you should go to this church. And it just opened my eyes to just accepting Jesus versus it had to be the rules and regulations. It was just a little bit different. So I'm a Christian, for sure. I think we all make mistakes. I think you're allowed to make mistakes. My best friend's Jewish. I mean,
Okay, that's where I struggle, right? Is when Heather and I moved here with the kids, I grew up uber religious, Methodist. So we Methodist, we went on Sundays, right, on Wednesdays, and then Sunday afternoons for youth, right? Hated going, but I went. I mean, it was something I was taught.
Absolutely.
I never believed it. Meaning, and that's not to say that I was just taught, so therefore I had to believe. So we grew up in this church. And this guy, first name Mark, right? He was our minister.
Yeah.
Mom, in her latter stages of years, she was still an administrator of the school, but she also volunteered.
Glasses look good.
Thank you. I look good.
It's working.
Is the light working?
Yeah.
I'm curious what this is going to look
taste.
like. But I got this for flying because while I'm flying, I want to see what I see and I want to hear.
Yeah.
I probably won't be able to hear the comms, but. So this minister, right? So in the Methodist, you get a salary, okay? You get the parsonage, right? Which is they pay for your housing. You get a car. This was back in, dude, it was probably 98, 99. I was married at the time. You get, in the Methodist here in North Carolina, they have a big lake called Lake Junaluska, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's all Methodist ministers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not all. I mean, it's a stretch. But so the church owned a house at Lake Junaluska that Mark had. And you go through 4-year stretches, right? So you're assigned for 4 years. You might get reassigned, but you'll never be there more than 8 years. Mom never made more than $27,000 a year, right? I was in Greensboro at the time. So Mark, keep in mind, Mom volunteered 4 to 6, 7 hours, so she knew all the financials. So I knew how much Mark made. I knew all the details, car allowance and all this stuff. He sends her a letter, because in the Methodist culture too, that you have to tithe. At the beginning of the year, you say, you know what, my salary is this, I'm going to tithe. $27,000 a year, bro. You can't live off $27,000 a year.
Right.
Can't fucking do it. So she gets this letter in the mail at like fucking December 5th for shits and giggles. It said, Miss Nance, you have not honored your obligation. We need you to find a way to come up with this. Fucking letter.
Wow.
Okay, Mark's signature. Minister, Reverend, whatever the hell his last name is. I don't remember. So I said, Mom, I'll be right there. Fly down there, grab the letter. She's like, Kev, don't do it. You're going to embarrass me. I don't give a shit. Walk to his office. He's like, hey, man, how you doing? Like, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Now we got to fucking talk, just like that, to a minister. He said, whoa. I said, no, Mark, you and I have to talk. And I take him this letter. I ain't lying. I said, what the fuck is this, man? I said, my mom makes $27,000. You make $83,000. You have a house paid for. You get the house at Lake Juneau. You get a car allowance, and you don't pay income taxes. Now, that I don't know, but the ministers, they've got a value. There's some kind of benefit. I don't know what it is. So I spoke ignorantly on point number 5. He says, well, we just sent that letter.
That goes back to your character. It's you're loyal, you're passionate, and if you make the mistake, you say, okay, maybe I don't know number 5, but I'm going to own it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what I think is important in all of this world, right?
I don't disagree, because we all make mistakes.
You're allowed to make mistakes, but you owned it, and you said, okay, I got 4 right. I might be
go
wrong
with me
on 5,
on this.
But I'm going to go with it.
We're going to stay on the number 5 theory.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, owning your shit.
Absolutely.
Mark said, and I quote, "I was not aware your mother got that letter." I was like, Mark, this is your fucking signature.
Sure.
Okay. My mother's Judy Nance. Makes $27,000 a year. Committed to $2,700, and she's short this month because she ain't making money.
Yeah.
I said, do me one thing. Don't ever fucking send my mom a letter like that again. And I was gone. And I'm hyped up because I'm a mama's boy, as you know, right? And
nothing wrong with that.
One, he lied. So then I started questioning religion. I'm like, if this is the man leading the church is going to do that to his people when the man doesn't pay anything. And then back to loop around to Heather's mentors are 2 of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And I was taught to believe that if you're Jewish, you don't believe in the New Testament, so therefore Jesus wasn't. So therefore you go to hell, right? We're taught, Jewish people.
I had the same problem. I was like, I used to ask. Oops, sorry. I kicked the wire.
That's my penis.
Do
it again. Do it again.
I used to say the same thing. I would say, my best friend Greg is Jewish in Florida, and I'm like, he's not going to be in heaven with me because he's Jewish and he doesn't believe Jesus is the Son of God. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How?
That's where I struggle.
Brother, these people right here.
He believes, right? That is.
If I'm honest, his principles are probably better than yours.
No, they are.
Well, that's not a fair thing. Not
no.
principles, but are.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
They live by a strict code of morals and ethics, right?
Right. Being a good person. He's a great person.
Dude, this couple, right? I miss the shit out of them. Heather got them in the divorce, right? Not that we were ever close, but they are such amazing humans.
Wait, why does that have to be?
I get it. I mean,
but why does that have to be?
You've got a unique situation.
I know. I hate that. It's just because listen, right, wrong, or indifferent. You have great kids because of 2 great parents.
I agree.
And one of my favorite stories is the Heather story. How I wanted Heather to be my son's coach, soccer coach, and I was like, we have to have this lady as our coach. And then we started playing soccer, and that's how you and I got to meet each other. And
right.
But it's just and I look at kids come from the upbringing, and it's instilling the morals, the values, the ethics, and the things that are important, right? And so anyway, no, I hate that part that people have to have.
And it isn't by definition.
But it's true.
They didn't pull away and say.
No,
but you also know, and I don't know if you experienced this. I guarantee you did. There's something called a separation cancer. Like when we had groups of fucking just pockets of couples, right?
You guys did. You had a lot of
friends. As soon as
I
dipped out, my phone stopped ringing. And that's why I knew who my true guys. Now, granted, the people that stopped, I get it. The wives were probably, holy shit, you can't hang out with Kev. You're going to get separation cancer. You're going to get, divorce cancer. Yeah. You're going to leave me if you hang out with Kev. Instead of saying, Kev was there for you, Sal was there for you, we got a great relationship.
That's it.
Go hang with him. He needs you. The one person that reached out to me is Forrest Chilton, right?
Yeah.
You know who Forrest was? Yeah. Okay, Forrest is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest was the one guy, and it goes back to the community. Forrest was one guy that said, bro, I didn't have anywhere to live, man. I literally moved out and had I was going to get a hotel. And I went to the restaurant with my bag, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck. He's going to come live with me. On the lake, at Baloo's, beautiful home. So that man housed me for 3 months.
Yeah.
He is the only, honest to God, of all my friends and all my boys, he's the only one that said, what can I do for you? And
Yeah.
it's kind of fucked up,
Absolutely.
you know, and I don't really understand that dynamic at all, but I understand the,
You said it, but that's so right. Separation cancer. It's like almost something becomes wrong with you because you.
and you can pass that virus on to you.
Like because I touched you or talked to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's called insecurities, and that's the one thing I learned going. I mean, I know we've spun here a bunch of times, but
That's the beauty behind shit like this, Sal, to be honest with you.
But we always have great conversation, and that's why I said it's like inspirational. And again, I think if somebody could just sit down and understand, like if you you fly now, you're like I always wanted to fly, I'm going to fly. I always wanted to own my own vodka line, I'm going to get a vodka line. I wouldn't even know where to start, but you're like I don't know where to start, but I'm going to make it happen. And
I don't have many years left.
You do.
You know, I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Right? But I live in the life now that,
Unless you keep fucking with Sammy.
yeah, she'll whip my ass.
She'll stab you.
Fucking bitch. You know what? Whoa, you're the guy that said, hey, man, why don't you put something on her forehead tonight, man? Why don't you, hey, video it. Let me see
It's
what
so
you put on
awesome.
her forehead.
Man, it's just.
And tonight, I am going to do that. Yeah.
She's
I wanna-
always laughing about it. Like
Oh,
it's,
no, she's not.
not in the moment.
But the beauty behind, have you ever
But
done,
that's what she loves you for.
well, yeah.
And when she quits loving you for that, then that means
You know,
she has to be okay with that.
What she
right?
really loves me for is what you touch with your toes. It was down here.
Yeah, your toes.
Yeah.
My toes touch your toes.
But the beauty, have you ever done like a prank on somebody and you don't want to tell them, so you're just waiting and wait like that, like Facebook,
yeah,
like a post
yeah,
on Facebook.
yeah.
The beautiful thing in the morning is like I just can't wait till she checks her phone, you know. And it's always, God damn it, Kevin, what you know? It's
But she knows, and that's what happens, right? When I talk about insecurities, going back to my learning about myself through my therapist, it was just understanding that I control my own happiness, and no matter what I do for you, I could do things that can make you happy today, but it's not going to make you happy forever. And if you don't want to hang out with me, you're just not. There's nothing that I can do to control it. Yes, I can do things to help make you trust me, but I'm going to do that anyway because that's who I am.
you are.
It's
Yeah,
who I am
yeah.
as a person. But if you can't handle or hang out with Sal Cagno, then I can't change that.
fair
You know?
question.
I'm loud. I'm funny. I'm crazy. But I feel like I do those things. I don't ever try to hurt others. I do.
You never ask for anything in return either.
I don't want anything in
Yeah.
return. I just want. You know what I do want in return? People to let go and have fun and escape real world for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Like that's what's most important to me.
Good, just switching. I didn't know that. I will tell you, and I want this on record. I've never had any human that say I don't love Sal Cagno. That is a
That means the world.
true story, and you and I both know a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's you leave such a good fucking spirit, like when you're in a conversation and in a room, and you know I'd love to do this every week with you. You know what I'm
I would
saying?
too.
I mean, I'm gonna walk out of here feeling better.
Good. That's
Every time
good.
I'm on the phone with you, customers, but it goes back to business, and you give Nick a lot of credit, and I'm sure he deserves a lot, but customers like you. They want to deal with you. Budget Blinds is where it is because of Sal Cagno. And the beauty behind you is you don't want to take the credit.
I don't
You want to
do it for
deflect the credit.
But I don't do
understand
anything
that,
for credit,
but
you
in
know?
your mind, you still think Budget Blinds is not because of Sal, it's because of Nick. It's got the administrators and a couple of the guys
It's a
he has
team.
out there.
It's a team.
It
the
is a
people,
team,
right? Like
but-
I can only be as good as my team, and you can only look. You have created something that you can walk away from, and still everybody knows you own it, and you don't have to be there every day and grind. Like again, that's a. I look up to that.
It could be better, though. See, that's where I'm struggling right now. And every one of these things that we've done through Stoke Ridge, I am failing the business because the business could be better if I was willing to go back to just being there 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And the community
better and define your success, because what you deem
That's a
as
fair
success,
question, actually. Yeah.
What you deem as success, I look at your restaurant and say that's success. You know what I'm saying? He could be off doing this and making other people happy here and growing something over here that gets more people jobs and keeps, you're offering something more to more families. Whereas here, you're offering this to families and you're able to pull yourself away and get great people that, you walk in there and it's like Cheers. You know?
I agree, and
You've created that. And you know what I learned too? When people say, I don't know what our culture is. Oh, you have a culture. It's what you created, right? And look, I think your culture has changed based on your lifestyle changing.
it had to change. It was going down the wrong path.
And you identified that. Most people can't. They just go, I'm going to keep going because it's the right thing
I can't take credit. COVID did it. And if COVID didn't happen, Stoker would be out of business. Because I didn't have the mental fortitude, and that's when Sammy came on board. And I remember we had a conversation. I was crying like a bitch. I was like, I don't want to be a honky-tonk slinging $2 beers. You know, I pulled out the old business plan that I had that was really embodied. I mean, you're going to laugh, but it embodied like a smaller village tavern. You know, if you look at the original menu, that's not who we can be at all. But the original menu was huge. I remember we had shrimp and grits.
I remember that,
we had fillets. We had anything. So,
you got rid of the ribs.
Yeah, the ribs are back.
I know, they're so good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How would you handle this? So a guy comes in. This was last week or two, right? Gets the ribs, full rack. Leaves half in a to-go box. Cool. Leave it on the table. Walks out. Goes home. Calls back 15, 20 minutes later. I need to come back and get my ribs. And we're like, yo, bro, this shit's thrown out, man. Mm-hmm. So he starts cussing at the hostess. And that's where I just let it be. I talked to the host and said, look, people are assholes, right? Yep. You're going to run across one every once in a while. It's not our responsibility if they put it in a to-go box. We don't have a to-go box refuge sitting in the back in Cambros.
Like a lost and found.
Yes, it's in the Cambros to-go box.
Found.
And I'm like, and it was ribs, which is why I thought of that. I'm like, just come on, be realistic. Don't be mean. These are 17, 18-year-old kids. Don't be mean.
Right. So are you asking what I would have done in that situation? I probably would have just said, you know what? I understand. We made a mistake. Come on back. We'll get you half a rack of ribs. Or hey, next time you come back, put your name.
I'm not doing that anymore, Sal.
I know. And it's not easy, but you know what? Again, it goes back to because
I was hoping, I'm at a point, keep that thought, that he was going to go on the local media, Stoker stole a half rack of ribs. And then I would have done what I did to that lady in the Prius, which was wrong. Because historically, I've always been the guy, I'm sorry we missed our mark today. We just didn't whatever. Yeah. What can I do to earn your business back? Sincerely, Kevin Champion. But you reach a point in time, brother, it's tiring.
So it's not a point of time. I think it's a point of customer. And I don't think every customer is your customer. I don't think every customer is my customer.
I don't disagree.
Like some you just can't please because, like if they want, a vinegar-based barbecue sauce and you have a sweet barbecue sauce, it's not your customer. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to keep coming back trying to figure out how to get you to change your business model to accommodate the one.
You are so spot on.
And that's okay for you to say.
You need to. I wish you would.
Yeah. And you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. When you want to buy into 50% of my business or 51% make the decisions, I'll change that. But for now, my business.
I couldn't do 51%, by the way.
No, you could never.
There ain't no way.
But let me say this: we need our customers to be successful, right? And we need our staff so we can be successful. And again, success is defined in so many different ways. My success for my businesses, some people say I want to run a business where I'm never there, right? That's not me. I want to run success to me is I get to go to my kids' games and I get to coach
Remind me
kids.
of a quote that is the most powerful quote I've ever heard, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I get to do those things. And then one day, yes, my success changes. Now my success, because my kids are all adults and they're out of the house and they have their own jobs and everything else, now my success is either, yes, how do I get an income revenue or a revenue stream that comes from that business, or do I sell that business for a profit, right? Mm-hmm. There's my money. Like, I'm not living today to be uber profitable, right? Like oh my goodness, I have to save every penny and I want to enjoy it. And then yes, there's going to be a time where I say, okay, I have to understand. And that's not meaning you don't pay yourself first and make sure that you are living. Because look, we don't get company benefits like all these,
right.
You don't get all the, not company, corporate benefits. You just don't get.
They've got to understand too, though. You and I didn't go into
bailouts. We don't get bailouts
at all.
No, if you fail, you fail. They don't go, oh well, you're a poorly, designed insurance company that we're just going to save. We're going to bail out.
But on the flip side, you and I didn't go into business to employ we went into business to make money for ourselves and our
did.
family. Okay, that's why we did this.
100%.
I'm glad that we're able to employ people and see kids grow through the process and provide phenomenal products. You go buy a house and you see your product in the house, that gives you pride. There's a lot of pride in what we do.
That's it.
But ultimately, we're in this business to make money. Fair money.
Profits, exactly, fair money.
Yeah.
And profit is
And
not
the reason
a
we've both
bad
been here
word.
so long is because we've not exceeded like the corporate mentality you talked about, seeing record quarters and everything. We're selling for fair price so we can in turn make a little bit of money. That's
Yes,
it.
it just
Make
makes
a little bit of money.
And there's, it's talking about it being a part of a franchise. It's pretty neat because we all sell the same products, do the same thing, so yada yada yada.
Can you age out of that franchise?
Age out? Probably not. I mean, you could manage it from afar.
A friend of mine, he has ran this business so clean and so good. He's in the daycare business, right? Mm-hmm. And it was part of a franchise. Exceeded whatever, we can leave whenever, dude. The franchise
Probably about
agreement.
10 more minutes.
Okay. So it was a national franchise.
Yeah.
And this couple did everything right. I've
What an
watched
awesome,
them.
What an awesome couple, too.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know
Okay.
what you're talking about.
So,
their neighbor does the same thing.
Huh?
One of their neighbors, like in the front of the community, does
I
the
didn't
same
know that.
thing. Yeah.
But I've
We
been
did
able to
their work,
sit
too.
and watch this man and just be admired with his ability to make decisions without emotion
Yeah.
and to make the right decisions with this business.
Yeah.
Now, and then the reason I'm asking is their franchise agreement expired.
Yeah.
So he opened up a brand new brand because he'd already established his brand, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we have a 10-year term. So our 10-year term just renewed.
So you did renew it.
But here's the problem.
What's
I own
the
4
upside?
territories.
We talked about that
So
actually.
I renew at different times. So there's no way I'd have to sell the whole thing.
Okay.
And do it that way. But I can sell the whole thing and then start over at Sal's Blinds or whatever. But the thing for me is
You see a lot of value in that brand.
I actually
Enough to warrant what you pay because people don't understand. It's heavy.
It is. It is. But I will tell you that it's if you want to know, it's more the product. So they don't really give us a lot of like, here's how you run your business, and here's the best compliment I get is when I go to a national convention or I go to these conferences and it's 1,200 or 1,500 national franchises that all do budget blinds, and we're number 23 or 24.
That's
in the whole
outstanding,
country.
brother.
And we do it
Outstanding.
in Greensboro, North
Yeah.
Carolina. Like we're not in major markets, and we're not in second home living. We just have hardworking people like you and I. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just and those are the things that I find as success, right? Because I tell people all the time when they're like, sales are slow and this is slow and that's slow. I say, call me, I'll help you. And I challenge
See, that's the
all of
difference
them.
between you and most people, bro.
Call me, I'll help
Yeah.
you. I'll help
It's
you.
not even just your industry or fellow competitor, not competitors, but the franchisees.
Yeah,
It's
franchisees.
you can be in the restaurant business, you can be in the insurance business, you can be selling donuts, and you'd be like, dude, what do you need?
Call me, I'll help
Let's
you.
work this thing out. I'll
How
help
can
you.
I help you?
But there aren't
Right.
people like you. There's not enough people like you in this world. I don't think
appreciate
I'm that generous with my time, to be honest. You, yeah, but I mean, certain people I'm just not going to because I'm tired, man.
I get it. I feel the same way. I'm starting to. I used to want a circle this big,
Oh no.
and now I'm starting to learn that I want a smaller circle.
That's because you gave your buddies separation cancer, so they had to get out.
Separation cancer. Yeah. They have to get out. That's the word, separation cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's that taboo word, and I hate it. It's because you're right. And again, it's insecure. It's insecurity. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's when people are insecure, they don't know how to act or react, so they just overact, right? And it's like
I can see that.
you can't hang out, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do
But
this,
I'm
right?
probably so maybe I'm not representing that correctly because I've probably earned that label in the nth degree because a lot of these couples have seen me lose my shit, right? And act silly and crazy. Not offensive, right? Not stretching or exceeding the boundaries of relationships in any capacity because my wife was always there, but it's just that Kev's a little crazy, he's a little wild. Sal's a little wild. So you and I are probably maybe a little different, but again, I still think that stigma applies to guys that get separated. Because what are they doing now? I mean, I don't give a shit what you said. Nobody likes being alone.
I had to learn it.
Yeah.
It was something I had to learn.
I hate being alone.
And I of course, and I had to learn it. I really did, because I was never, like, I love people, and that's where I get my energy from. And I am wicked extrovert.
Say, like, this is giving me enough energy. I'm gonna put a tattoo on Sammy's forehead and put it on Facebook, and I'm gonna call you out, brother.
Oh, no.
But go ahead. Yeah.
It's just, it's again, just wanting people to be better, do better, be who they want to be. I mean, no regrets, no, I should have did this, and that's my biggest struggle right now with my kids. Now I'm bringing up my kids, spun in a whole different. They think like, why is Dad on my ass again? Why is Dad?
Because he wants you to be better.
Because I want you to learn from my mistakes.
Yeah.
I've made them. Learn from them. I already know what the outcome is. Let me tell you before the outcome happens. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what's going to happen here.
I got something like that going on with Trev now and Braden. So there's a spot, and I'll send you a picture after we get off here. So they're doing, they've got Iron Plate Solutions, right? They've got Easy Sear, which is an automated means of cooking the perfect burger. I'm not saying that because of my kids. I just wouldn't reference if it were not true, but it's phenomenal. Consistent every fucking time. Trev, the engineer, Braden, the sales guy. So I'm fighting with them now, right? They are going to put like a food truck in Austin. Not a bad idea, because what it does, it's not about the food truck, but it's about utilization of the tool. Yep. And seeing what are the pros and cons. So when they go out and sell it, they understand, is cleaning a bitch? Do we need to add a plate here? Do we need to do various things? And they generate cash flow while they're using their products. And they also get that exposure. If they're in front of Tesla or in front of a corporate entity or in front of a bank or in an event, they might run across this guy. That's a hell of an idea. Here's a check for $1.2 million. So there's multiple aspects. Well, they've found a guy that has a freestanding. You ever seen, it's like it looks like it's a drive-through, right, with a kitchen in it.
Oh, yeah.
The building's probably half the size of this entire office, right?
Yeah.
It's got a kitchen in it, go through, order, loop back around. It's basically like a coffee shop. What do you think would be a coffee shop?
Right.
So I'm talking to Brady and Trev, and they're both like, yeah, one person can run that, selling hamburgers and french fries. I said, you're full of shit. I said, you've lost your mind if you think one person, and that kitchen is going to be what's called a commissary, right? A commissary is what? Do you know what that is?
No.
If you have a food truck, you have to have a commissary, a commercial kitchen that you attach to with a health code and everything else. So that facility is going to be the commissary for other food trucks.
Right.
So, okay, walk me through this. So you're going to have limited hours in your kitchen, right? You got to prep, you got to cook, you got to take money, you got to conduct the transactions, you got to clean. I said, are you ready to work 120 hours a week? Still can't be done. One person cannot do that. And both of them were arguing like, well, Dad, you don't know. Okay.
Exactly. But you know what? Our parents told us the same.
I ain't letting them make that mistake, though.
Then they're going to do it another way and make it.
The only thing, I'm going to let them make mistakes, but I'm not letting them get into a capital fucking outlay of a 3-year lease at $2,500.
I agree with that.
And, I'm going to let them go do your due diligence. Figure it out when it comes to money. I'm not letting them F themselves. That's why I did everything I could. And there are very few things that I put feather in my cap, right? My kids didn't know anything out of college. So when I had kids, I looked at Heather and said, these boys they won't have college debt. I had it. It raked me for a long time.
Yeah.
Heather thought differently. But until, Brady graduated college in May, it was a hell of a fucking lean. 2 years, I'm looking at spending a lot of money. But my kids, that is the one thing that I can look back on my life and said, I did that right.
I told, I said it, you said it, you got to say it's so important. This is another tangent here. It's so important to save a little.
Holy, we're out of hour 15, too.
Are we?
Yeah.
It's so important to, I got to leave too.
Okay. I just got to go home and get Sammy to go to sleep so I can put a tattoo on her forehead. Yeah, I'm doing it.
It's so important as they're young, even in young people's lives. Save a little if you have time, and you'll have a lot. When you get old, when you don't have time, you have to save a lot to get a little.
Correct.
And it's so hard to understand because you're thinking $25. And I'll tell you this was one of the craziest stories. I worked for Liz in a call center. And when they offered a 401k, I'll never forget it. It was like $25 every other week. And this girl looked at me and she said, "That's a hairdo." And I went, "What?" I said, "You could either have a hairdo or you can have a retirement." And she couldn't overcome that. And I'm like, it's 25. And
But don't you think you got to teach that young, the element of compound interest?
You do.
And let money work for you?
But why do you think society doesn't want to teach that? Or
It
schools don't want
pisses
to
me
teach it?
off.
They don't want to teach it because you won't have people that, I hate to say this, but you won't have hourly workers. Because if you taught that and people understood that, they would say, why would I work hourly? Kevin's
my
making
money's
all the
doing-
money. Sal's making, which we're not, but we can. And I don't make the money. We don't make the money now, but when we sell it, that's where you hope to make the money, right?
Correct.
You've set up a good enough business. You could sell it. You paid it off, just like your house. It's a business same as like your house. You're paying the high interest. You're paying the amortized loan and that big interest money, and then at the end you sell it and you're like, wow,
Which I've started to think more. Renting is not a bad play when you get in the right position.
So they say actually owning a house is one of your biggest liabilities, not your biggest asset.
I can see
because
that.
You're not really writing all of it off,
And we're dumb enough to think, well, shit, I can write off the interest, which is not a bad write-off.
or you're better off renting and buying an investment property. You
Or
rent that
rolling
out,
the difference.
and now you get to write the whole thing off and all the improvements. Every time you put something in your house, you don't get to write that off.
Dude, I don't think you know this. When I left in 2020, I left with this. Everything. So all that compound interest, all the investments, the
Start it
house.
over.
I don't give a fuck.
It's all stuff,
know,
man.
It's
My
like,
kid's happy. My kid's healthy.
as long as my kids are good with it, which they weren't.
My community's good. You
Yeah.
know, like community's big to me. You know that. Your community supports your business. Community's big. That's what's important, right? It's, again, how do I give more, expect less, and I think it'll play itself out and take care of itself.
What do you think about, and we're going to leave on this note,
Yeah.
take what you and I are doing here, right, and get more people. Like have like a group setting and like guys fire away back and forth and just have more conversations rather than two goofballs.
So I think we could turn this into something, or you can. I shouldn't even say
No,
we.
it's
I think
this
the
is
conversation we can. There's a lot of good business owners and smart people and inspirational people that do a lot for communities. It's almost like I think those are the people that we talk to and we have a bigger conversation that can really give their experiences, right? Like, and how did you get started? And there's a kid I watch all the time, and he just has a little mic, and you've probably seen him, and he asks, "Hey, how did you earn your money? And what did you do?" I love that guy. I watch every one of them, and I actually have a friend that he actually interviewed in California.
So that's legit. It's not.
No, it's legit.
It's not set. Right.
It's legit. So he actually he interviewed a girl that I was in. Her name was Allie Webb, and she started. It was called the Dry Bar. She started that. Her brother worked for Amazon. She graduated high school or college. Her brother worked for Amazon, had some money, did that.
Sorry, dude. I'll show you a podcast you need to watch, but go ahead.
And sure enough, here it was. I mean, she sells her business for how many millions of dollars? She was actually a shark on Shark Tank. My high school where she went was on Shark Tank because they did. My point is, I think more people need to learn that, right? They need to be taught that because they just think. Everyone thinks if you put a sign in your yard that says "I'm in business," your community is just supposed to go, "Oh, that's great.
Agree. We're going to support you.
We're going to support you."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You have to do something back for your community. I go to the football field or the soccer
Dude, did you see what
field,
the
and
fuck somebody said to Northwest football?
I heard it was Page, the Page kids or something.
I hope so. Because Todd Dean, great dude, he put up $1,000, right? And look at this. He put up $1,000. I said, dude, I'll match it. Fine. We'll match it.
Supposedly
Hope it was
Page. Some Page kids from what I heard.
Good.
And that's not fair to me to say, but
look at that.
I know. Yep. But
kudos to you, Todd, for doing this. But
and if you look on the scoreboard, whose name's there? STG, right? Like when I go into communities, because I know how hard it is to ask people for money and give money, and everybody goes, "It's a write-off." I'm like, well, I have to make money to write it off. You can't just keep giving money you don't
funny?
have because it's a write-off. I'm like, so I have to think of what's the best value. And I will tell you, Nick does a great job of that. He works pros and cons. He has a spreadsheet.
I wasn't taking away from Nick at all.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not. He's just.
I want you to make sure that you give yourself the same props that you give other people.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. And that means a lot. But you know, when I go to like an area, let's just say Wentworth, I'll go by their field and I'll look at the banners, and I'll say, okay,
That's who I want to go to.
That's who I'm going to, and then I make sure I let the owner know, thank you for the sponsorship to Wentworth's program, and that's why I'm here today. So that way they know.
That's dope, dude.
Let's go.
That's why you're better than most.
I just
I
know
mean,
how hard it is. I mean, I've been doing it since.
But you know how much it makes the owner say, holy shit, the money that I'm spending for the sponsorship
works.
And
Somebody cares.
And we don't
right?
know that.
We don't.
Truthfully. I mean,
No.
and that's
Whether it's High Point, whether it's Oak Ridge, whether it's Stokesdale, whether it's Wentworth, whether it's Reedsville. I mean Mebane. I mean, all of it. Go to places that support local. Like, you know, it's just.
Well, I think that's what people know about you, and that's why the hell people give you. I mean, your product's phenomenal, but that's why people want to do business with SAL CAGNO.
No,
It has
thank
nothing to
you.
do with budget blinds, but they're doing business. You and I both know with you.
I think a lot of that
Yeah.
is. I think a lot of it is, and you know, and it doesn't happen overnight. And again, it goes back to you put a sign in your yard. No, you still have to show up. You still have to be fair and honest, and you have to finish. And most people can't do number one. They have every excuse why they can't show up. All we do is a half-hour window, one at back, front and back. How hard is that? I might be a little earlier. I might be a little late. What's so hard about that? Just show up. Just show up. Start there.
Dude, for the record, I do need to have you come take a look at the house. I know we
we
looked a
looked
couple
at it.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
I got distracted. I'm getting into a couple things, which we'll talk offline. But
Yeah.
anyhow, we'll wrap up. Go to your family. I love you.
Love you back, man.
Thank you. I really do appreciate this.
Yeah.
We got some more shit going because we want to give back.
I
more than
would.
we're
I would love.
currently
I
doing.
would love